Welcome back, Rockstars, to some more crazy crap. It's gonna be an exciting day because we're finally gonna expand our Iron Man armor collection because we only have up to the Mark II right now. Iron Man has quite a lot of suits, and with only 2 versions done, it's hard to make them all. I mean, Mark 18, Mark 19, Mark 20, there's at least 21 suits. So we're gonna try to start with the Mark III today, and hopefully we can work our way up to get to at least the Mark 10 all complete. But that's a lot of Iron Man suits and Iron Man in general, so hopefully we have the resources to be able to do it. The Stark Tech only have 32. That's one of the things I'm most worried about. So we also need a bunch of gold plates. We also need titanium plates. Outside that, we need some glass panes and our classic things like repulsors you would need for any Iron Man suit. Now, some of this stuff just isn't EMCable, so we just have to make multiples. Like, we need dispensers to make repulsors and whatnot. We also need glass for glass panes. Alright, we should have most of the basics for now. We'll need some definitely more things later on, but let's go ahead and get some of those glass panes worked up. And there's one specific material we have to craft. See, to make the tier 3 and above Iron Man suits, you actually straight up need things called Iron Man plate armor. Now, I don't know if you have to do it in the Iron Man workbench, but to get Iron Man plate armor, you have to take gold titanium plates, put them together. Alright, now if we access this workbench, now let's try this again, giving us Iron Man plate armor. There we go. So that, a set of 3 of each gives us 3 Iron Man plate armor. The reason we need Iron Man plate armor is because you have to use this to craft the Iron Man shell, which is needed to craft the rest of the armor. So there you go. Boom, 27 of those. Yeah, that's not a whole lot. Let's go ahead and max out most of what we can do. Alright, so next up we need at least a black iron block, so we'll grab a half a stack or so, and to do this we have to have it for the chest piece of the Iron Man shell, but this crafts just like any other armor, and this just continues so on and so forth. Okay, so next up we need to make repulsors, and we're gonna make quite a lot of these specifically for the fact because you need these basically for every Iron Man suit. Alright, so for a repulsor you take blocks of diamonds in the center and surround the top and middle edges on the sides with Stark technology. Put dispensers in the very bottom middle and take titanium and put them in each of the very corners, giving us repulsors which don't stack very well. Okay, so we almost have everything for the Generation 3 armor. Next up, there's only 2 items left. First of all, rockets, which we've had before, so they have EMC as well, plus there aren't really any versions of rockets outside of this in this mod. And we need a palladium reactor core, or a, palladium arc reactor. So we need some palladium, and we should have absolutely everything else. So first of all, it's really simple. Make a palladium core and a grid. That gives us this. We stick this bad boy in the middle with our Stark Tech in each of the corners, and then titanium surrounding the sides of that, giving us a very nice, simple palladium arc reactor. Now, we won't be going over every suit that we craft, but we'll be going over anything that we don't do with a speed up or off screen for you guys. So we'll cover the abilities of the Mark III and definitely the abilities of the Mark 10 suits. Because being completely honest with you guys, there's just too many Iron Man suits to cover in one video, and there's too many to cover in repetitive videos without being, oversaturated and boring. Alright, so most of this is really simple. So we're gonna go ahead and take some titanium plates in the bottom corner with some gold plates in the top of it. We're gonna take glass for our window here, and then we take Stark Tech in the top middle, finishing off with the shell of the Iron Man helmet, giving us the Mark III Iron Man suit. So next up for the chest plate, you put the palladium core in the middle, very middle, with the titanium in the corners of the top with repulsors in the bottom. Finish it up being surrounded by Stark Tech on each side but one, and then just throw the chest plate in the very bottom, giving you Mark III, Mark III of the chest plate. Pants are quite simple. You put some good old pantaloons in there with some gold in the very middle of the sides, and the top and left right corners you get some more titanium plating, and then finish up with just a little bit of itty Stark Tech, and that's Mark III of our suit, giving us just the boots left over, which are really simple. You throw these in there, rockets on the side with just a little bit of Stark Tech, and boom, our Mark III Iron Man suit is fully made and ready. So now we can throw this bad boy on. Of course, we have our overlay like usual, and beautiful. Look at this suit, the most classic design of Iron Man. For some Mark III, we got some really basic abilities. If we hold our weapon X button, we get a mini gun, pretty nice, basically kind of an automatic turret. If we hold one, we get a basic repulsor blast, nothing too fancy. If we go up to 4 though, we get an explosive from the rockets that we keep on us, and then 5 I do believe is just kind of like, actually 3, they're either a laser or a flare throw from missiles, I think one of the 2, and that's basically all the suits abilities in this version of Crazy Craft for Mark III. So definitely way more diversible than the first 2 suits, so that's super nice. Alright, so we've made Mark III. We're gonna make Mark IV real quick because it's basically Mark III with just a couple add-ons, and we've already made a secondary Mark III, so we don't have to go through the same steps. And then you'll see some of the later versions of the suits themselves. So for this, it's a lot of the basic repeat steps, which is one of the things with the Iron Man suits. It's a lot of just slightly more niche versions of what we had before. See, Mark IV Iron Man helmet is the 3 plus basically the same design that we had to make the Mark III in the first place for the helmet. Chest plate, the exact same thing. A lot of things are just starting to get replaced with the titanium gold alloy and the Iron Man plates instead of just the straight up gold or titanium plates being applied applied to the armor itself. The leggings, you just take a little bit of gold and a piece of titanium or two, and boom, we switch these around. My bad, not gold, the red Iron Man armor plates with gold and not titanium and gold, and that gives you Mark IV pants. And then the boots are just a little bit of Stark Tech with a little more rockets like last time, and boom, now we have the Mark IV suit. This suit is basically the same as number 3, but with more agility and more health and a better battery life. So now that we've made suits 3 and 4, let's make our way up to number 10, or at least that's the goal, hopefully. There are just so many suits to make, but look at the beauty difference between number 3 and 4. I can't wait to have all of these guys lined up right next to each other. Okay, Rockstars, we're finally on the mark number 10. So for the most part, this is going to be a little easier than some of the other suits. So we can actually just start off with the Iron Man shell. Luckily, we've made this 1,000 times, so we know exactly how it goes. After that, we're going to be taking the helmet with some gold plates. I mean, not gold plates, the red plates on the sides and corners. Glass in its usual spots on the sideways, and then just a little bit of Stark Tech up top, giving us the Mark 10 helmet. Now, every other piece of armor actually takes a set of repulsors, which I think is really interesting at this point, and also kind of makes sense once you get through into the newer bits of how the armor works itself. So the same thing as any other boots, this is technically how you make the Mark 6 boots, but if you throw Iron Man plates on top of that, that actually gives you Mark 10, which is a weird jump. If you didn't skip the speed up portion of the video, you clearly know that a lot of these suits are made very, very repetitively and on basically the same process. To finish up the pants, we just put those Stark plates with the Stark technology, giving us the Mark 10 leggings, and that leaves just our Iron Man Mark 10 chest plate. So we go ahead and put the vibranium core in the middle with repulsors on the side, a very common triangle shape for this, with the Stark armor on the side, Iron Man plate armor, however you want to say it, and then the Stark Tech in the corners, giving us the Mark 10 of the Iron Man suit. Our classic Mark 10 gear and our armor set for Iron Man is looking good in the collection. We just got to get them all next to each other now. So we have most of the abilities you would expect for us to have. First of all, we have our classic minigun that we usually have. Then we have our good old repulsor beam. Nothing too surprising. Oop, I might have hurt my princess there. So number 3, the red, is actually more of a flare technique, I think, because technically number 6, I believe, or is it 7? Yes, 7 is our destroys anything blocks laser eyes. Actually, it doesn't destroy obsidian. That's really interesting. If it wasn't for the cloud pet, we could hold 6, and that would give us the levitate ability. Now, this suit specifically cannot go into water, apparently, but whatever. And if we press number 8 for our last ability, we actually get like 10 seconds of night vision, which is actually pretty neat. But that covers basically all the abilities of the Mark 10, mainly just being a lot stronger than the original versions that we made. Buddy, what are you doing in here? And you're not my dragon, are you? Oh, you are. You need to stay still. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to hit that like, comment, and subscribe down below, though, because with marks 1 through 10, we are very set on the Marvel superheroes, and there's not a lot left to do here in Crazy Craft. Fight the king and queen and just a few more superheroes. So make sure to hit that subscribe button to stick around, and I'll see y'all next time, Rockstars. Peace, peace.